Track maintenance on any tracked tractor or track vehicle in general is extremely important. Tracks are very valuable and they provide a lot to us as farmers, but we have to take care of them at the same time. So I'm just going to go over this Challenger 865B2 track, and we're going to talk about how we're going to inspect it so that we have the best result in the field. First thing I like to do when we're working on 2-track tracks is we're going to drive the front idler up onto a set of blocks on both sides so that we have pressure off the middle bogie wheels. Then, instead of doing a hard, difficult task, you can just step on the track and all the pressure is off, and you can spin them and then rock them side to side with 2 hands, one on the bottom, one on the top. And that's your first thing you're going to check. We're going to make sure the bearing's not loud and make sure there's no play. From there, we will get a flashlight, and if you look inside from one side or the other, you can see the wheel seal on the back of the bogies and check if they're leaking. So I have got my flashlight now, and you can see from this side, we're looking in, and you can see the back of the hub and the shaft where it mounts. In between there, if you see anything wet or oily, you know that the wheel seal is gone. So you want to look at that as well when you're checking out your bogie wheels. Another thing you're going to do is, if you have the stock caps, you want to pull your lids. They recommend changing oil every year. I don't necessarily think it is necessary because a lot of the times you'll do that and it'll look like brand new oil coming out. So I will pull the cap, make sure the oil level is good, which would be right up to that cap, and you can see the oil and smell it. If it's burnt or it looks metallic or black, you're going to want to change it. That takes care of all the bogie wheels on all your 2-track machines. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the back on the reaction arms. Now, the way you're going to inspect them is you're going to take your phone and you're going to shove it up in between both wheels and take a picture facing up on the inside to this portion here. If you don't see any oil leaking out, then you know it's good, and then all you need to do is check the oil level in your reaction arm. I'm going to try and show you what it would look like to take a picture. You just put your camera in the middle there, and then you face it up, and you can see inside where both those wheels join. If you see oil dripping down there, you know you've got a wheel seal or reaction arm gone. But that all looks good. From there, to finish your inspection, you're going to take a look at your reaction arm oil. There is a drain plug on either side. You want to get it put halfway and take a look at your oil level. And if it's low, you're going to add some, or if it looks terrible, then you'll want to spin the plug all the way to the bottom, drain it out, and then spin it back to the top and add your oil. The nice thing about having a really good camera in your pocket is you can do the same for your front idlers. Get in there, take a look. You can see that one looks like it might be seeping a little bit, and we're going to have to do something about that. Now back to the front idlers, since we have covered the rear drive, we've covered all the bogies, and we looked at the inside of the bearings on the front idler. Last thing you're going to do is also, we'll pull out the center plug. We'll see what the oil looks like, and if it looks or smells bad, we will drain it out. Now, if you are running these 2 tracks, I would highly recommend getting these see-through bearing covers. It speeds up your maintenance process a lot, as well as when you take the cap off, you don't wreck the seal every time because it's got a cork gasket instead of a paper gasket like those metal ones. But this is a nice design, and it really speeds up your maintenance. Now that we've checked out all the bearings and the oils, we're going to take a look at the rubber surfaces on the track and on the drive wheel and the front idler and bogies. And so this tractor is in a bit of a certain situation where we know we have to change tracks in the next year or two. So like that front idler that's got a seep, I don't want to pull the track to change that idler seal when I know the track is going to be coming off in the near future. But this is what I'm looking at, and I'll show you some things to look out for, because this is showing all the signs of when you need to get serious about changing tracks, relaminating bogies, that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you what to look for, and I'm going to show you all the signs of what to do. And just know that when we're looking at this tractor in particular, it needs new laminated bogey wheels on all of them, and it needs new tracks, and I'll show you why. So when you're looking at your tracks, you want to look at the inside of the carcass for any rips or tears or cords showing. That is getting near the end of its life. You're always going to want to inspect your guide blocks and make sure they're not wearing or rubbing unevenly as well. From there, you can take a look at the face, but the face isn't nearly as important. The inside is where you're going to see all the signs of it letting go for the most part. Now, taking a look at these bogey wheels. I mean, this thing is really cupped on the edge here. We got some metal showing and it's hitting the tracks. So these bogey wheels are all getting really low. And if we look on the inside, this bogey wheel has delaminated, so we need to get that fixed. But all this tearing up, they all need to be changed, and we are gonna do all the bogey wheels at the same time as we put the new tracks on. From there, you're kind of looking for the same things on your front idlers. You're looking for cracks, major damage that'll show a delamination, or just some bad wear. The front idlers do look pretty decent on this, as well as the drive wheels. They're not perfect, but for 7,700 hours, I think they're pretty good. The biggest thing is checking your oils and making sure your oils are good. Every year we'll find about one bearing that is a little bit loose, and for the most part you can tighten them. But when you're spinning them, if they feel rough or they're loud, then you're gonna have to open it up and you'll probably be ending up changing bearings. We have one bogey on here that is loose, so we're gonna tighten it up, but I don't suspect the bearings are bad, so it should be an easy process, but we'll go over it. So we have already pulled out all our bolts for that cap, and what usually happens is that gasket likes to get stuck. So I'll give it a couple taps with a hammer and it will come off. And now it'll start draining into this nifty little drain that I made for the tractor. I know you can buy some really nice ones that are made for it, but I mean, this works, and I had it right away. So now we will take a razor blade and we will clean up that gasket face on there, as well as this, so that our new gasket seals well. And from here, to tighten it, all you need to do is, there's going to be one of these tabs on that locking ring. It will be bent over into the groove, and so we'll bend it back. Then we will tighten that nut ever so slightly just to take up that little bit of play. We'll probably only go one notch, and then we'll bend that tab back and it will be good to go. Now I have built a special little bolt or hub socket for this nut that fits on it really nicely, so when you're putting down new bearings on, you can torque it up and seat your bearings. But you can also get away with a chisel, but I would recommend getting some sort of socket on there. So I really like those see-through caps, and I think they make maintenance on it a lot better, and the time you save will pay for the caps in a couple of years. So what we do is we'll buy the set for the tractor. What we do is we check our tracks every year, and if we find there is a leaking seal, or we need to drain the oil or do something to the bearing, that is when we will put a new see-through cap on, and slowly over time they do end up all getting changed. So we are changing that one cap over there because we have a loose bearing we need to tighten up. The kit comes with everything you need. It's really nice, and I would recommend it. These cork gaskets that they come with are really nice, and they don't stick to anything. So if you need to get in a hub and tighten or change a bearing or a back seal, you can do that. But the other nice thing about these is that they have a drain as well as a fill, so you don't have to take the caps off just to change your oil anymore, which is also a huge benefit. So we got this all cleaned up. That is the tab that's bent over. It should be bent nicely in the middle here, not kind of crooked like that, but we'll straighten that out with a pin punch and then spin this thing just a little bit to tighten up that bearing a tad. Okay, we are going to tighten this bearing. We go. We got that tab folded over.
I'm feeling the play in it. It is very slight, but I want to tighten it up a bit. We're either going to fold the same tab over with it moved over so it's properly seated in there, or do this one right here. I think that'll get us the movement we need. And unfortunately, my special socket is at the other yard, so I will just use this punch. All right, we've gone one notch on there. You can still feel a bit of play. This one's pretty close, and it's almost lined up, so we'll go a little bit farther. We don't want to make it too tight because it's a used bearing, so we're not trying to put any preload on it. We're just trying to take the play out. Still a little bit in it. This one's pretty close. We're just going to keep going. Until we got the play out of it. So that feels good to me. Now we will take our little pry bar and bend this tab over and in. And now we can install our cap and cover. It sits into a groove on this cover. That way you're also not squeezing out the gasket when you're torquing it down. These things are really well built. And now, yeah, we've got that locked in there. We got the face all cleaned up already. We'll get our bolts started. And they say to torque it to 35 to 45 inch-pounds. And this one we will torque just because we don't want to crack these plastic or PVC caps. And it's really not that hard to do. Now they're all snugged up. We got our inch-pound torque wrench out. Because 35 to 45 inch-pounds is not a huge torque value. Now, they come with these plugs with O-rings on them. And a special little key to tighten them up that just slips on. Oh no, I dropped it in the thing and there's water in there. There we go, that's good. And now we're just going to put some oil in it. And we'll let it sit for a bit because that oil level, as it penetrates into the bearing, it's going to keep going down.
That is how we inspect the tracks on this tractor and any other tracked machine, whether it's a grain cart, combine, or our other tractors. So if you thought that was helpful or you liked what we're doing here, consider subscribing and liking. I really appreciate the support. Thanks, guys.